Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we uncover the secrets hidden in plain sight within company filings. And today we've got a doozy of a leadership shakeup at Watts Water Technologies Incorporated. So Watts Water Technologies Incorporated, a name you might recognize if you are into plumbing and water control stuff, just dropped a Form 8K report. Now this usually means something pretty important happened, and usually fast. In this case, it signals a pretty big change at the top. Let's dive in and see what exactly is going on. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on our deep dives. And hey, we've got a fantastic community over on Discord to discuss these things further. The link is in the description below. This report, a Form 8K, is basically a company's way of telling the world about major events that aren't part of their regular reporting schedule. Think of it like a company sending out an urgent press release to the stock market, and the big news here revolves around a significant change in their Chief Financial Officer or CFO. Watts Water is a publicly traded company, meaning their stock is bought and sold on exchanges. They're incorporated in Delaware and have been around for a while, with the ticker symbol WTS on the New York Stock Exchange. You can usually spot these companies by their consistent filings like this 8K we're looking at now. They've been pretty open about disclosing information to investors. Now, the earliest event they're reporting happened on the 14th of November 2025. Normally, a CFO is a pretty key player in any company. They manage the money, they're involved in all the big financial decisions and future planning. So, when one leaves, especially suddenly, it is always worth paying attention to what that means. This particular section of the 8K item 5.02 is where companies report on changes in their leadership. It covers things like directors leaving, new officers being appointed, or changes in executive pay. And that is exactly what we're seeing here. So the story starts with Ryan Larder, the company's chief financial officer, telling them he is leaving. He gave his notice on the 14th of November 2025, stating he wanted to explore other opportunities. It sounds pretty standard, people move on to new jobs all the time. But here is where it gets a little more interesting. The very next day, the 15th of November, the board of directors officially removed Mr. Larder from his CFO position. Now, when someone resigns, they usually finish out their notice period or transition their duties smoothly. When a board outright removes someone, it can sometimes suggest there is more to the story than just pursuing another opportunity. It could mean decisions were made quickly or perhaps even disagreements. It is a strong signal that the departure wasn't entirely amicable or as straightforward as a simple resignation. But they were prepared. The same day they removed Mr. Larder, the board appointed Diane McClintock as the new chief financial officer. This suggests a plan was already in place, or at least a strong candidate was readily available. Ms. McClintock is 58 years old, and her quick ascension to CFO implies significant trust and confidence from the board. Ms. McClintock is not new to Watts Water. She has been with the company since 2010. She has held several important roles, most recently as Senior Vice President in charge of FP&A, which stands for Financial Planning and Analysis, and Investor Relations. Before that, she was Vice President of FP&A and even a Director of Financial Reporting. This deep internal experience means she likely has a strong grasp of the company's finances, its history, and its future plans. She's been part of the financial strategy fabric of Watts Water for over a decade. Her background also includes significant experience outside of Watts Water. She was Director of Finance and Treasurer at Autoimmune Inc., which suggests experience in the healthcare or biotech sector. And before that, she was a Transaction Services Director at PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the biggest accounting firms in the world. That's huge experience in auditing, consulting, and understanding complex financial transactions. She is also a certified public accountant, which means she's met rigorous standards for competence and ethics in accounting. Now, let's talk compensation. Her starting annual base salary as CFO is $515,000. That's a substantial salary and reflects the importance and responsibility of the role. This is a significant figure indicating the company values her expertise and is investing heavily in this leadership position. On top of her base salary, she'll be eligible for a bonus. Her target bonus is 70% of her base salary, so if she hits her performance goals, she could earn an additional $360,500 or so. This structure aligns her pay with company performance, motivating her to achieve specific financial objectives for Watts Water. Beyond salary and bonus, she'll get the usual employee benefits, plus participation in an executive severance plan. This means if her employment is terminated under certain conditions, she'll receive a pre-arranged payout. Also, the company is providing her with an annual executive physical examination, which is a nice perk. focusing on her health and well-being. And then there are some additional allowances. A $14,000 annual car allowance is part of the package, which probably covers a company car or is reimbursed for her use of a personal vehicle for business. Plus, she gets an annual allowance for executive financial planning. This covers services like tax preparation or wealth management, helping her manage her own finances. It is a comprehensive package designed to attract and retain top executive talent. Now, usually an 8K might include more detailed financial information if it is related to a specific event like an acquisition. In this case, the main financial impact isn't directly within this filing's core narrative, but the implications of a CFO change can ripple through finances. They've also included a press release as an exhibit dated the 17th of November. This is likely where they officially announce these changes to the public. Companies often use press releases to communicate these kinds of significant events. And finally, the cover page interactive data file. This is part of the modern XBRL filing system, making financial data more accessible for analysis. It essentially tags all the key information on the cover page in a machine-readable format. The report is signed by Kenneth R. LePage, the General Counsel, Chief Sustainability Officer, Chief Compliance Officer, and Secretary. This confirms the filing is official and authorized by the appropriate personnel at Watts Water Technologies. Looking at this entire situation, Watts Water Technologies seems to be making a decisive move to solidify its financial leadership. The swift appointment of an experienced internal candidate like Diane McClintock suggests stability and a focus on continuity. While the circumstances of the prior CFO's departure are a little ambiguous, the company appears to be proactively managing the transition to minimize disruption. Her extensive experience within the company, coupled with her background at a major accounting firm, should provide a strong foundation for her leadership. The compensation package is competitive, reflecting the critical nature of the CFO role. It signals that the company is investing in its financial future and is committed to strong financial governance. The biggest risk or opportunity here is how Ms. McClintock's strategy will shape the company's financial trajectory moving forward. Will she drive aggressive growth, focus on cost optimization, or perhaps pursue new strategic acquisitions? Her history suggests a pragmatic and experienced approach. Everything points towards continued operational focus and financial management under her guidance. Alright, that is our breakdown of Watts Water Technologies' latest filing. What's your take on this leadership change and what it could mean for the company? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this deep dive valuable, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. And don't forget to subscribe for more corporate insights. Check out the Discord link in the description to join the conversation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Corporate Decoder.